Gottfried von Clausewitz was a Prussian general and a military theorist who stressed the moral and political aspect of war. He was a professional combat soldier who was involved in numerous military campaigns. But he is famous primarily as a military theorist interested in the examination of war, utilizing the campaigns of Frederick the Great and Napoleon as frames of reference for his work. Clausewitz explained the essential nature of war, how it endures through time and circumstances. Even as its character is ever-changing, he emphasized the effective logical unity between politics and war, and he laid stress upon war's moral dimensions. Clausewitz instead that war has to be a duel between compelling wills, that it is subject to the many frustration of what he termed collectively friction, and he insisted that war was the realm of chance, risks, and uncertainty. Thank you.
Clausewitz's most famous dictum, that war is a continuum of police by other means, is a charter for strategy. This dictum does not propose that war is always a sensible expression of police, or that the movement from politics to war is from one defined state to another. The key, the Clausewitz's greatness as a theorist of war, lie instead in the observation that was the heart of his major thought. The war was shaped by a remarkable trinity, composed of primordial violence, hatred, and enmity. The correct approach was not to give up and assume that chaos and unpredictability will mold our plans and overwhelm best effort, but rather to prepare for such eventualities in advance. Clausewitz's definition of strategy as the use of the engine to achieve the objective of the war translated political goals into a military aim. First, despite all of total unpredictability, not everything was a mystery. Threatened action had no effect, and enemy attack from behind or caught in an ambush would exhibit lower morale and less bravery. A second factor was unreliability of intelligence. Without a robust starting plan, occasional reports might cause undue defeat. Third, both sides were subject to friction, so it was a poor excuse for defeat. The question was who could cope with it better. The essence of good generalship was to triumph over friction. To the action possible through both carefully planning and maintaining a presence of mind when the unexpected happened.
As Clausewitz described the nature of war, strategy became a sustained act of will, required in order to master its terrible uncertainties and resulting from human frailties and the capricious impact of change. Since the enemy faced the same problems, it was still possible to prevail by bringing superior force to bear against the enemy center of gravity. Clausewitz was the view, almost taken for granted in his time, that once the enemy army was defeated in battle, the road to victory was clear. Without an army, a state was helpless. It could either be eliminated, gobbled up in entirety, or forced to accept whatever terms the victor might impose. Before this, the state would do everything possible to avoid defeat and carry on the fight in some way. In the new post-1789 era, this was as much a matter of popular enthusiasm as governmental judgment. In this tension, we find the clue to Clausewitz's enduring influence. He understood that rational policy could impose itself on war, but it was always competing with the blind natural forces of violence, that hatred and enmity, as well as possibility and change. He linked policy, change, and hatred to government, the army, and the people, respectively, although the link perhaps gave a restrictive, institutional form to those attributes.
We can see the Clausewitz Trinity in Vietnam War. Vietnam War was a long, costly armed conflict that pit the communist regime of North Vietnam and its southern allies, known as the Viet Cong, against South Vietnam and its principal ally, the United States. The war began in 1954, though conflict in the region stretched back to the mid-1940s after the rise to power of Ho Chi Minh and his Communist Viet Minh Party in North Vietnam, and continued against the backdrop of an intense Cold War between two global superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. More than 3 million people, including 58,000 Americans, were killed in the Vietnam War. More than half were Vietnamese civilians. By 1969, at the peak of US involvement in the war, more than 500,000 US military personnel were involved in the Vietnam conflict. Growing opposition to the war in the United States led to bitter divisions among Americans. But before and after President Richard Nixon ordered the withdrawal of US forces in 1973, in 1975, Communist forces seized control of Saigon, ending the Vietnam War, and the country was unified as the Socialist Republic of Vietnam the following year. If we look at the Clausewitz Trinity, we can apply the system in Vietnam Wars. When the USA has failed to spread the political or ideological influences, because the system of Clausewitz Trinity is the same as domino effect, which means that if one of the wall is falling, it will continuously fall into one another. From the people perspectives in Clausewitz Trinity, the people of USA doesn't want to continue the war, because it's violated human rights to live peacefully, and by that, people of USA is not funding the economic sector to help military engagement in Vietnam Wars. In military perspectives, if the people and the government cannot help finance the army can engage to mobilize the personnel. In government perspectives, when the two factors are failed to support each other, government can do anything, which means people who have the power has failed to persuade civilians to maintain continuation of war, and the government have failed to spread their ideological influences into neighbor countries.